Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Continuing our top 15 series, we've got something special lined up for you today. I know so many of you have been asking for a customer reviews analysis for this one. Well, we're finally doing it. But before we get into that, don't forget to check this exclusive discount for it. You can find the link in both the video description and the top comment below. Now let's not waste any more time and jump right into the details.
Let's start with our first reviewer's experience.
This reviewer wanted to share their experience with this tricycle, especially for anyone considering it on a budget. They purchased it for their 80-year-old mother who's just under 5 feet tall. While the product description claims suitability for people as short as 49, this client was skeptical. Assembly went surprisingly well thanks to the helpful video guide. A reviewer noted the tricycle seemed mostly pre-tuned, requiring only minor adjustments. There were a few slightly bent or misaligned parts, but nothing that couldn't be easily fixed. They were particularly impressed with the build quality, especially considering the lower price point. The hardware appears to be stainless steel, which is a plus, although they wished locking washers had been used instead of standard ones to prevent loosening over time. The only real issue during assembly was a bent chain guide with loose screws, requiring some pliers and realignment. Functionality-wise, the test ride revealed some potential concerns. The seat height, even at its lowest setting, seemed quite high, making it difficult to mount, even for someone of average height. The seat itself was also deemed uncomfortable, and the shock absorber didn't seem to function effectively. The reviewer plans to replace it with a wider, lower, and more comfortable one. They also noted that the seat position impacts battery removal. As for the electric motor, it's powerful enough for various terrains, but the speed control is quite sensitive, going from 0 to relatively fast with little variation. The 3 modes didn't seem to have a noticeable impact. The reviewer also didn't experience the pedal assist function, finding that pedaling required significant leg strength due to the lack of gears. Overall, our reviewer is seriously impressed with the tricycle's build quality, materials, and functionality. Many of the concerns are specific to the needs of an elderly user, with a few modific.
Great! Now let's see what our next reviewer has to say about their experience.
This reviewer decided to buy this trike after doing some online research, mainly with the intention of it being for their wife, who has been having mobility issues. The idea was for her to be able to ride alongside while they walked together. Contrary to some other experiences they had read about, our reviewer found the assembly process surprisingly simple and straightforward. They were also impressed by the overall sturdiness of the trike. Even at the default power settings, the power was more than adequate. The manual didn't include all the programmable settings, but this client was able to easily find them online, as these settings tend to be standard across different brands. They were able to adjust various parameters, such as maximum power and speed, acceleration, and even screen brightness. Most settings were left at their defaults. The only real issue is that the reviewer's wife felt too nervous and unstable while riding the trike, to the point where she couldn't use it. However, this wasn't a fault of the trike itself. This client rode it themselves, even with the power cranked up, and found it easy to handle and intuitive. This reviewer suggests that if you're considering this trike for someone who has difficulty walking or balancing, or if the person is elderly, it's a good idea to let them try out a similar model at a local bike shop first. Overall, this client feels it's a very nice trike. It comes equipped with front and rear lights, a horn, and even includes mirrors and a phone holder, which weren't even mentioned in the product description. Now, the plan is to find a comfortable and affordable bike trailer for their wife, or perhaps even a 4-wheeled e-bike, so they can enjoy the paved bike trails in their area together. The only other thing this reviewer needs is to figure out where to get an extra battery, as they suspect that the advertised range might not be sufficient for longer rides.
Alright, let's find out what our next reviewer has to share.
This reviewer has now put about 100 miles on this electric bike and wanted to share their thoughts. First off, the battery life has been more than sufficient, which is a huge plus. The reviewer also found the bike's appearance more appealing than initially expected. A nice bonus is the inclusion of a USB port on the battery, useful for charging smaller devices, although it's only a 1 amp output. However, it's not all sunshine and roses. The assist feature isn't quite what one might expect. Instead of proportionally assisting pedaling effort, it essentially locks the bike into specific speeds depending on the chosen level. It detects movement, not effort. Our reviewer found the speedometer to be inaccurate, consistently displaying a speed about 3 miles per hour faster than the actual speed. Although annoyed by the inaccuracy, he was able to resolve this by adjusting the tire size setting on the bike's computer, even though the manual advises against it. Adding to the initial frustrations, both inner tubes popped within the first 80 miles. Switching to slime-filled tubes seems to have solved that issue. The seat isn't the most comfortable for longer rides either, and it's likely the reviewer will replace it down the road. On the upgrade front, swapping out the rear gears for a set with a wider range, 1134T instead of the original 1428T, made a significant difference. This client highly recommends this upgrade. Finally, the single most important piece of advice: put slime in the inner tubes. Reliability is key, especially when commuting, and avoiding flat tires is worth the minor efficiency trade-off. Despite the initial hiccups and the need for some upgrades, the reviewer finds that this is a fun bike with plenty of style.
If this video helped you out, give it a like and hit subscribe for more. Got thoughts? Drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.